Hello everyone. Ooh, I'm still a little off kilter. Hey everybody, I'm just gonna pop you to the top on my, hopefully, we'll see, I'm on the wrong thing, on the Rachthestamper page in case you haven't found me. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. There I am. Pin to top. Okay. 6 people with me today. Welcome everyone. Hi Sandra. Okay, kill the volume there. How's everybody doing today? Sorry I look a little crazy. I did take a shower, but I'm very proud of myself. I exercised 3 days in a row. Today and yesterday I walked over 5 miles uphill both directions at some point, and my legs hurt so bad, but I'm trying to exercise a little more in the new year. Hi Karen. Karen, I got your payment. Thank you. Hi Denise. How you guys doing today? So look, we can open this. It's so silly because, you know, you can't see the inside of it, but now you can. I'm sure there's been lots of people going live this morning, and I do usually go live earlier in the morning. However, I went on my walk, which took 2 hours, but it was worth it. It was so worth it. I feel so happy and energized. Hi, Julie. So today I thought we would make a really fun card. So good morning from my Montana visiting California. Wow, Mary Ellen, you're lucky. Montana and California. That's awesome. Hi, Sharon. Thank you guys all for stopping in. So today I thought we would make something fun. We would make a gnome card because I know you guys have seen these everywhere. And the only reason I say this is because yesterday, whoopsie, I was lucky enough that I got my tree punch, which I saw everybody making into gnome hats, which is adorable. So I thought we would make this. Now, maybe you have this left over from the Christmas catalog. This is, I should have kept my thing out. This is one that if you don't have it, it was on back order, but it is either going to be in stock or it will be back in August or September of this year. So if you don't have it, you will have the chance to get this again. It was out of stock for a little bit, but I didn't get the stamp set that went with it. I only got the punch because the punch was really cute for these cards that I want to make. So I have actually 3 different ideas on how to make the gnome beard. Hi, Deanna. You're coming from West Virginia. Thanks for joining me. I have some family in West Virginia. I think they live in Grundy. Don't know where you are, but and West Virginia is a pretty big state. But anyway, so we are going to use I have it over here, the Valentine's paper. So I already punched 2. So what I'm thinking is we'll make 2, maybe 3 cards. We'll see. But this paper, if you haven't seen it, this is the back side. So if you're in a paper share, you will get 2 sheets of each of these. You can see them all there. And then this is the reverse side. As you can see, I've already used one of these sheets, so there's only one of those left. But the paper share, I did order it this morning, so it probably won't be shipping out until the 13th, but it's priority shipping, so you should get it. 13th is Monday, so you probably should get it by Wednesday. So Northern Panhandle, yeah, I think we're kind of more like over and in a little bit, but there's a lot of rife stuff there, so if you ever happen to drive through, I think I'm related to some of those people. Oh no, sick kids and a sick puppy. What? That doesn't sound like a fun house at all. Feel for you, Denise. Hi, Yvonne. And Yvonne, I think I've told you before that I had an aunt whose name was Yelka Yvonne. So I think think of her, even though she's not with us any longer, every time I see your name. So nice to see you stop by today. No, it's probably a lot of competition because there's probably tons of people going live and everything. So thank you guys very much for stopping by. So without further ado, I wasn't going to hold the camera today because I've been like so... And with the walking, I'm like a little tired. Hi, Martha from Colorado. Thanks for joining. And Anka from the Netherlands. Not too much longer till you be here, Anka. Maybe I'm going to try and do a Facebook Live when Anka comes. And we're going to do a stamp party. We're still hoping when she's here. And maybe we can go live with one of the viewers at the party. That'll be fun. Hi, Fran. Hi, Diana. Hi, Pamela. Thank you. Thank you guys for stopping in today. Hey, Sharon. So I did have a new team member today. Donna, who's on here, joined my stamping team. So great deal for celebration. You get a 6x6 paper sampler. You get the little mini trimmer. Look, it's so mini. It's the size of my head. I'm so crazy. I'm like hyped up on exercise today. And you get to pick one stamp set free of your choice. 2 caveats. It cannot be a host set and it can't be a celebration set. So the only way to get celebration sets is to earn them by purchases. So just to clear that up really quickly, when you join, there's Donna, my newest team member. When you join, you get to pick $125 worth of anything. So you could get yourself a new trimmer. You could get yourself a Simply Scored scoring tool. You could get probably 10 packs of Whisper White cardstock or thick Whisper White cardstock, but you get to pick $125 worth of anything. You pay $99. There's no shipping. And then in addition, you get the mini cutter. You get 6x6 paper sampler. Hey, boss lady. Now I'm going to call you the boss lady. And you get to pick one stamp set of your choice. So with Celebration being in effect, what that means is that you can buy, there's a couple different ones. You can buy $50 or $100 because there's 2 different categories. So for example, here's what I've been wanting to be able to show you. Let me just show you. When you see the new catalog and you see how the colors, they show the colors, which I think is pretty cool. So say if you purchased the Tropical Oasis Suite, which gives you basically one of everything on this page. That's $116. So then you could either pick 2 $50 celebration items or one $100 item. So for example, this paper, the honey paper, that's a $50 item. Or this is one of my new favorites. Where is it? The Power of Hope bundle. So you'll get the stamp set and the folder. That's $100. Oh, stop it. You're ridiculous. So you get to pick that. So that's how you earn Celebration. You cannot get Celebration as part of your starter kit. That's one thing. And you do earn a discount on any future purchases. So once you are a demonstrator, you get 20% off of any purchase that you make, as long as it is a like a stamp set, dies, ink, all that kind of stuff, but not on like business supplies, which that makes a little bit of a difference. So that's basically the explanation of that, just in case there was any question. So aside from that, did you miss the gnome? No, I haven't gotten there yet. I got excited and went on a detour. So let me move this stuff out of the way. Also, one other thing, just so you know, there are a couple things carrying over from the holiday catalog. There are a couple things that won't carry over until next holiday season. So some things in here are not orderable ever. They're gone unless they decide to put them on the clearance rack. Some things are still orderable and some things will come back with the next holiday catalog. So I know that's a little bit confusing. I do have a list of things and I'm going to try to put them onto my blog, but sometimes I forget to do that. So if that's something you're interested in and I forget, please feel free to ask me. As you can see, I got a lot of stuff going on and sometimes the important things don't make it where they're supposed to. So, remember we made these cards yesterday. If you missed this on YouTube, I went live on YouTube yesterday. We made these really pretty cards. That is upside down. Here's this one. These were using the Memories and More kits. And there's one more. That one. Really simple. So, let me move those out of the way. So, without further delay, I'm going to flip you. So, I'm going to flip you so you can look at the pretty ink. All right, and if you get sick, right now is the time to look away. So close your eyes, whoops, and I'll tell you when we're back. Am I still here? There I am. Woo, that was almost a doozy. Okay. Hopefully that's bright enough. Let me move this out of the way. Bring the light in. There we go. Okie dokie, we're back. Everything is stationary. I know someone says they can't see me. Maybe you have to go out with your phone and come back in because I haven't heard anybody else say that they can't see me and I'm being extra crazy this morning. So could be that I'm not holding still, but hopefully you can see me now. All right, so what I did, I pre-cut 2. Here's 1 and 2, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So I saw some adorable cards over Christmas with the tree punch making gnomes. However, by the time I caught on to this whole trend here, the tree punch was on back order. So mine just came yesterday. So I thought we could make 2 Valentine's cards This I need to keep out. 2 Valentine's cards. And I kind of have a mix of things for sentiments. So I have a bunch of different things that could kind of go with happiness, friends, you make me happy, lots of love. I brought out sending you thoughts. This is a free celebration set. Heartfelt, because I thought this has a couple cute ones in it. So I kind of brought those out. And then I also thought we could make beards 3 different ways. So we can make one with the tree. But then I also thought you could technically use the snowman to make like a different kind of a beard. And you could use the bottom of this new heart punch. This is the scalloped heart punch. So we're going to fool around with this and see what we come up with. I am going to, in the meantime, because I have a few scraps, I'm going to punch out. And for the beard, you don't really need so much. So what I'm going to do for the beard is I'm just going to do like 3/4 of it. So we'll do, see how much I could get out of this one. 2 tree beards. And then this one I know will be kind of long, but I still thought it would be kind of cute because it would just be a different shape. So we'll have to see what this looks like. We have our little snowman body beard, which might be cute. Although that could also be construed as something completely different. So, and let us do, let's see if I have another little scrappy piece here. Yeah, come on. Gotta be something here somewhere. Let me try this. Only thing with this is I know you're gonna have to punch the whole part of it, but let me try. So you're not gonna need this entire heart. You really just need the bottom, and I'm not sure how that's gonna fit, but I figured it might be worth a shot in case you happen to have one of these or maybe something similar. And then the other thing I grabbed, and I am 99% sure this is still a current item, but I'm going to double check. This is a 1/2" circle punch. And I feel like we should still have that in the annual catalog. So I'm just going to take a real quick peek. 1/2" circle punch. Yeah, so 1/2" circle punch. This is, we're going to just use this to punch out a light pink for the nose. Because I've seen them with feet, with beards, but ours are just going to have beards and a nose and maybe like a little smile on the beard. So, what we're going to do, uh-oh, that was money. Probably Christian's money that he's been hiding. So I have a couple of these. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this off a little bit. So you can kind of get my drift of what I'm trying to go for. We might have to trim this up a little. I wasn't 100% sure. That one might have a short beard. This guy could have a little bit longer of a beard. I don't know. That might be too long, but it might not. We'll have to see. I'm going to punch out a couple different papers. And I thought this would just be like a cute way to do something different for a Valentine's card. So when you do the tree punch, oh, almost did 2 pieces there. You don't need the trunk, and you really only need, you don't really need the whole bevel because you kind of are going to trim it. So what I've been doing is I've been kind of fitting this in and trimming like just at the tip of the trunk there. Okay, so then what you can do is you can kind of take your scissors and you can go up and down if you want to have something a little bit more fancy with your gnome. And then here's the white beard. And it doesn't even have to be straight, so it could be a little crooked. So that was the shiny paper. You could do the hearts. Let me punch. I'm going to do 2 more. So I'm going to do 1. I'm going to do 2 out of this one because this is pretty cute. And the way this is, you could even kind of go with the rounded edge, but I think when you do the little curvy part, it just kind of makes it look, gives it like a little bit more visual interest. And this on white, yeah, it's cute, but it's not, I might actually use the other side of this. That hat. And I want to do one that's got a little bit more red in it. We did that. I'm going to do this other stripe. So same thing again from this paper. You have the dots, and then the other side is the hearts. This one I have that. I feel like I saw another stripe here. Here it is, this one. I'm going to do 1 out of this, but I'm going to do this side. So I don't know how many gnomes we're going to necessarily fit on 1 card, but we'll at least make 2, and we'll kind of see. So same thing again, I'm just kind of going along with my scissors. Doesn't really have to be perfect, just so it has a little bit of a wave to it. So we're going to need 1 more. You see what I have over here. Scrap wise, here's this. Remember this card? I took it apart. I just couldn't stand looking at it anymore. So this is a rather big beard. So this one we probably are going to have to trim down at least a little bit. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do one more. So we have 3. I'm going to do one more of the heart. Worst case scenario, we can always use the top of the heart for something else. I do have an alternate use for the heart punch. It still is in the shape of a heart, but when I have my blog hop, I feel like it's next Tuesday with Kylie Bertucci, my blog hop that I'm taking part of. I did do the heart punches, but I didn't do them like a traditional heart. So stay tuned for that. That was pretty fun. I'm just going to punch out one more tree and cut this. Alrighty. And that one was, where was that? Is that this? What in the world? Oh, there it is. I probably goofed that piece up. Okay, so let me move these punches. So now really the only thing we're going to need are the little noses. And I'm going to keep this out just in case I don't like the way those beards look and we end up moving on. But it's kind of, I thought it would be kind of fun because you could have a couple different variances of the beard instead of just having white beards, or, you know, we could always dust them with a little bit of gray or blue to kind of make them look exciting. So, hello from the Best Buy parking lot, Gail. That is hilarious. I love it. Stopping at the Best Buy parking lot to catch the live. Okay, so what I thought we would do, what this has all over it, something. What I thought we would do is we could either do these with pink, or we could do them with red, but maybe have a layer of something and then a layer of white. And I know we do have white beards, so I get that. So we might have to kind of go off from what I said. But just to start, I'm going to pick out, I happen to have these already cut. They're probably left over from a card class I didn't use. So we have three real red bases. And I might not use all 3. I might use one in a pink. Let's see. We have Flirty Flamingo would look really cute. Where is it? Here's Flirty Flamingo. I think that one would be pretty. So I'm going to get out. Stay where I put you over there. This is just a layer, so I can always use that. I think that is a full card, and that might be a full card, let's say. Yeah, those look full. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some sort of layering aspect with these guys. Now, one other thing you could do, if you were wanting to use, say, Flirty Flamingo and Real Red together, you could always put a layer of white in between. So let's say, for example, we were going to layer the Flirty Flamingo and then we were going to have a really thin layer of the pink. We could use the white as a layer underneath and you could punch all of your beards from it. So save some paper there. That's a good idea. I'm going to grab a light pink, and I think I'm going to go with powder pink, and I'm just going to punch out some noses. So we're going to go with, I think we said 6. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I'm going to just punch out 6 half-inch circle punches for the nose. Alrighty, I'm going to keep this handy just in case I lose one, which is entirely possible. And I think I'm going to get a little bit of Whisper White out. Now, because I'm adding this as a different layer, I'm not going to use thick Whisper White. Normally, if I was using it for a base, I would use thick Whisper White. I do like that a lot better. So what I'm going to do is we're going to play around with one of these. So I'm going to use one red. And the reason I think I want to use white is because I want to be able to stamp onto it, and I think it's going to look the best that way. So I'm going to go with that for now. So I'm going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And so that will be our layer. And then I'm going to do 3 3/4 by 5. Because kind of what I thought was, I was trying to figure out how I would want to lay this out when I was taking my shower and mentally preparing for what I was going to do, because, you know, nothing like planning at the last minute, but that's kind of how I do it. I was kind of thinking if we stamped a whole bunch of little hearts around here, but maybe in like a really, really light color, and then we could put the gnome, I think that would look cute. So we'll see what it looks like. I'll keep these two pieces just in case. So we're going to work on one, and then we will do the rest from it in case we have to change something. So one other thing I had, where is it? I know I had something that had lots of little hearts. This one. So Label Me Bold has all these little hearts. So I got this one out because I thought we could decorate the background layer. So I'm going to move these two off for now. And to start, we will use two gnomes with beards. And here's our little pink nose. What was that? I think I said powder pink. So I'm just going to use a teeny bit of Blushing Bride just to... Ooh, should have got my sponge out ahead of time. I am going to make sure I have a clean sponge since this is such a light color ink. But I'm going to sponge just the edge of these noses. So not too much. I'm just going to do them all. Make it easy. I think this must be an absolutely brand new sponge because it is super puffy. Okay, so there's that. All right. Now, other thing we could do, and it kind of depends on which way you want to go. You could either go with a really, really light gray or a really, really light blue to sponge the white of their beard because it kind of makes the white pop a little bit more. So for now, I'm going to do one of them with blue, and then if we don't like it, we could do one with gray. So I'm just going to take the other side of the sponge. This is Seaside Spray, and I'm going to try to be super duper light with it, just so it's just barely sponge. So if you were here, you would be able to see, but you can barely see it. That's how light it is. So just like a little something to differentiate. And I'm going to do one of these that the snowman, aka, kind of looks like poo. And not Winnie the Pooh. As somebody was telling me yesterday, we were talking about something on stamping. So I'm going to keep this. And then for the next one, I will also get out. I think that our lightest color is Gray Granite, so I'm going to keep this here just in case. So I am going to take my hearts. This is Label Me Bold. This is a new stamp set. So I'm going to do one other thing because I'm going to try to do this one in a sensible fashion where I kind of lay it out before I just go crazy stamping willy-nilly. And I thought I wanted to use From My Heart to Yours. I thought this would be really cute. So remember, when you have photopolymer, I do have a mat under this, but you want to stamp on something. So what if we put this in the center? If I can get it to let me go. Come on. Okay, so approximately in the center. Let me move this. We'll do one of these. I'm just going to kind of place these together for now. A little gnomey guy here. Move these up. And then maybe this guy here. And we're going to have to draw a little bit of a kind of like a half smile. And obviously these are going to need to come down a little bit. And then we could just do the hearts in the background. So let's try that. And we will do that in, I feel like Petal Pink is the lightest color that we have right now. Blushing Bride has a little bit more of a gray to it, so I'm not going to use that. So I'm going to just slide these dudes down, and I'm going to move my other sentiment over, and I'm just going to stamp hearts. Let me actually grab a scrap and see how dark that is. So we can kind of stamp these off. They don't all have to be in the same strength. So before you re-ink, just kind of stamp around. And that's good. I don't want to overdo it because sometimes I do have that tendency. And then I'm going to, with a mini glue dot, I'm going to put a glue dot onto this front part of the nose, the top part up here. And if you're afraid that you're going to have it show, you could always kind of roll it up a little bit. That way I can stick this kind of under here for where I want the nose to be. And then you kind of have to eyeball where you think, how much beard you want, because you might have to trim a little bit of this off at the top, just so it kind of hides under there. And then gonna take our black marker and kind of draw like one of those, I don't even know what you call it, like a half smirky kind of smile. So I'm gonna do one over here. There's one. So we kind of know where his mouth is going to be when we put it. So let's put him here. Maybe it has to be over just a little bit. So be careful when you do your beard to make sure that you've trimmed accordingly, because you don't want your smile to be somewhere. Let me see. Might have to make him a little bit more. You don't want your smile to be somewhere and then the beard doesn't stick in right, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say. And then this one here, we have our other nose. So I'm just going to roll this up a little, pick him up, pop this on, and then this guy, we'll kind of keep him like a straight on gnome. So same thing, I'm just using the fine tip here, and just a little smile on him. And then what we'll do is, so kind of we have it assigned slightly where we want these dudes to go, and then we're going to put this in the middle. From my heart to yours. And I am going to just stick with, you could do this in Flirty Flamingo or Real Red. I'm going to just do it in Real Red. Hi, Gloria. Thank you guys all for joining. Hope you guys are having a good day today. A smirk, exactly. Yeah. A gnome smirk. I am going to stamp this off again because this is the very first time I've ever stamped this stamp. And sometimes with photopolymer, if you don't get a good inking and you're like, oh, that doesn't look good, because it does happen sometimes. What you can do is you could take your Versamark and you could ink it just lightly in Versamark first and either stamp off just to kind of prep the stamp. You can kind of stamp it on your hand. Now this would be before stamping it, that way you don't make a mess everywhere, but kind of get a little bit of the oils in it. Or you could also stamp it in Versamark just a little bit. And then you can stamp it in your color. And it makes it ink a little bit nicer, especially the first time you use it. So I'm just going to test it. And it doesn't affect, obviously you can see my Versamark pad is pretty disgusting, but the ink does not transfer from one project to the other. Because we have done things with white powder or clear powder, and it hasn't gotten nasty. So, all right, so I'm going to attempt to go to the middle. All right, hopefully that's remotely straight. If not, we'll kind of make our gnomes crooked to make up for it. You do want to, when you stamp with photopolymer, you want to let it sit there for about 5 seconds because it takes a little bit for the ink to transfer from the stamp to the paper. So, let's see, let me move this over, fold this in half so I don't ruin anything, and we're going to put this one together, and we'll see what this looks like, and then we'll move on from here. So I'm going to just take my paper. I already creased it because this is probably one, like I said, that was left over from our card class. Make sure this is layered correctly. So I'm going to do it with my liquid glue. Hopefully there's enough in here. I did just order 2 more bottles. But I use a lot more of this now with the Tipsies, that's for sure. I get a lot more out of it too, so that's really nice. So that is our Flirty Flamingo layer. This was 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just trying to make sure that's, for the most part, lined up equally. Then what I want to do, here's the thing. I want to put these gnomes down, but I'm also afraid that if I attach the white first, I'm going to goof it up. So I'm actually going to put the gnomes onto the white and then put the white onto the base. Okay. So what I'm going to do, you could do these with dimensionals, which would kind of be cute. So maybe we will do these with dimensionals. I'm going to kind of line up where I want this to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the top here and kind of just use my pinky, which isn't my main touching finger, to kind of spread it back just a little. Again, you could use either side. So if you like that side, we could have used that one. We're going to put this down and kind of make sure, whoops, I think I went a little bit too low. Kind of make sure that they're lined up and that the beard part isn't really showing. So I'm going to just, while I have this here, I'm going to take this little teeny piece, if I can get under here before it's glued. Oh, hold on. I just want to nip this off so it's a little smoother edge. All right, so there's that. And I'm just going to take a couple dimensionals. I'm going to stick with 3 for all of you that were worried about my over-dimensionaling yesterday. And I'm going to pull this off, but I'm going to set it. However, I'm not going to press it. That way I can kind of look and make sure I have it where I want it. So we have one here. And then this guy, I'm going to try to do the same thing. Again, just a little bit of glue. Once again, I'm going to kind of put his beard on because the way I trimmed him, he is a little bit, I probably should have left a little bit more of the top of the snowman on, but that's pretty good because he's kind of to the side a little bit as well. And then same thing again, I'm just going to put 3 dimensionals, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then kind of one right where the joint of all the stuff is to hold it together. And then same thing, we're going to kind of just set him here. We'll see. That looks like, I just want to make sure they don't stick out too far because I feel like when I had them up there before they were sticking off the top. So let me just see if this guy is set in his way. Press him down. Kind of press him down. There you go. So that's pretty simple. So there's another thing that I've seen with the gnomes, like I said, that you can give them feet to. I think people used some of the petal punches or the petal shapes from the punches to make the feet. So they did it with him kind of having not really a whole body, but somewhat of a whole body. But I think they're really cute. So that's pretty easy. Just punches, a little bit of Stampin' in the background. So pretty cute. Maybe for the next one, what we'll try to do is we'll add, if we can, I don't know, it might be overkill with all the stripes. I don't know if we'd be able to add any pattern paper in the background. Might be a little bit much, unless you had a really soft piece of paper that was left over from, like maybe a Christmas paper that had like a slight, like a soft pink, or actually that pressed petals I think has a really cute one as well. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going here. First off, I'm going to add the noses. So I'm just going to assemble all of these guys with their noses. I'm assuming guys, I don't know, are there girl gnomes? I guess there probably are. Get everybody in the girl gnome section upset with me. But I guess girl gnomes wouldn't have beards, right? Who knows, right? I don't know. Who answers these questions? I don't know. So I'm just going to put this one here. Put this one under here. And then I at least want to show you how we could do these with the heart punch. That way, in case you don't happen to have the tree punch, you could use the heart. So all of this stuff, again, just in case you're coming in late, it is orderable today. The Occasions catalog and the Celebration free earning are finally live. You finally don't have to hide it anymore. Let's see. I have a white beard. I was going to say, I know I'm missing one here somewhere, and this one's this side. There we go. Okay, so there's one. All right, so the rest of these, I'm going to do this one with a little short beard. So obviously a lot of this is going to need to be cut. Here's another white beard. Here's another heart beard. You'll use that for this one. Could probably even use the round beard. So you know what I'm going to do for this one? Instead of doing one with a tree, because we already did a tree, so I'm going to do the bottom on this guy, and then maybe one of the other ones I'll give him the round part of the beard. So I'm just going to cut straight across just to see how many different things we can do with it. So this one, obviously that beard is really big, so you want to cut off these 2 pieces here. So I'm going to kind of just eyeball 2, let's see, and 2 here. I'm going to go kind of go 2.5 there. So then this will be his little beard. So that's the bottom portion of the heart. And we'll put him together. And this one, let's see what it would look like if we have. That will look kind of cute with a little short half scallop circle beard. So I'm just going to cut this kind of in half. So you really could get two. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, that looks adorable. Just like that. Doesn't even need anything. So he'll work out really well. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. Put him on. I know I didn't sponge the edge of this one yet. I did forget. So before I get too far, let me just sponge these just a little bit. This one, where does this need to go? Cut this off. And the top of that off. All right, I'm going to do these. I'm going to do a couple of them in the gray granite. And then I'm going to try my very best to take an up-close picture so you can kind of see that light gray and light blue shading once I post these. I'm going to do this one just a little bit. And still kind of have to add my little smirk. So I didn't get to that part yet. So just lightly sponging the edges. This was, again, the gray granite. I'm going to do one more with the Seaside Spray. So gray granite, again, I think is probably our lightest gray. You could even do it maybe with a little bit of crumb cake. Sahara sand always ends up being a lot darker than you think, so I really wouldn't go with Sahara sand. I would go with crumb cake if you wanted it. A hard-working gnome would have a crumb cake beard. All right, so there's that. Okay, let me just put the rest of these guys together. All right, I'm just going to add a little bit to the top here. Again, I'm kind of just eyeballing because I want to have enough space to be able to add the smirk. Doesn't have to be big, but you definitely need a little bit of space. This one is going to be pretty tight, so I'm going to add it up here instead. Let's see. And I'm kind of just putting the glue on and holding it, especially if you're using, I think it's this one, this side, because the shiny paper is a little bit harder to stick to. So make sure you just give that a nice press and let it hold for a second. And then this one will be a little short one. Okay. There's that. But I thought, with the whole thing with the gnomes, when I saw people making it with the Christmas paper, the plaid paper is absolutely adorable. So if you happen to have any of that wrapped in plaid paper left, does make for really great gnomes. But I thought, well, I know I wasn't going to get that tree punch. And I thought, you know, I guess you could make gnomes for Valentine's Day. So we might be making gnome Valentine's cards for Christians classmates. So we'll have to see. So for the next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the reverse. So I did have the Flirty Flamingo. This should be, hopefully, 4 1/4 by 11. So I'm folding this, hopefully, at 5 1/2. I would score this, but everything is underneath the stuff back here, so it might be kind of painful for you guys to wait. This one I'm going to put a red background on instead. And let me grab trimmer here, so I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4, and then we'll do one more. Oops, one more for the last card. How about the last one? I'm going to do the last one on Thick Whisper White. Whoopsie, for the base. I think that should be that. And I'm going to do real red and then Flirty Flamingo so we can still see what we're stamping on. So again, I'm going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And that's for that one. And then I'm going to trim this little piece down here to 3 3/4 by 5. So those will be our final two cards, 3 3/4 by 5. All right. Now, the only thing we need Stampin' Up! To come up with is to come on board with some additional gnome gnome sayings, right? So this is going to be Whisper White. Again, this is a full panel, and then we'll put this one onto the pink. You could certainly do these also in like pink and red colors, but they were just kind of the first ones here available. Let me see if I have a piece. I'm going to trim this one down too. One more. So I'm trimming this Whisper White piece down to 3 3/4 by 5. All right. So same thing, kind of just pick 2. Let's see. I'm going to pick ones that are a little bit more red, putting them onto the pink. The way they'll be a little bit brighter. Yeah, so we'll do these 2. These 2 will be on the pink, and then these 2 will be on the white. So just to do something different, what are the other ones I got here? Lots of Love would be another one that's really cute. This one I think is adorable. We're going to use this one on one because it doesn't really say what a little something is, but let's do Sending a Little Something. Oh, I didn't even put the stickers on this one yet. These are the new cling mount stickers. If you haven't seen these, if you haven't gotten cling mount stamps before, I do have a really good, actually I think there's 2 different versions of this on YouTube on how to mount these. So I'm not going to make you sit and watch it. However, you can save the rest of your stickers and retro mount your old stamps. Even your wooden stamps, you can take them off if you like. So if you have extra stuff, don't get rid of them. So when you peel these off, though, one bit of advice, they are really sticky. So you want to either put them on your hand or on your clothing to take a little bit of the stick off. Makes them a little easier to get off blocks. So Sending a Little Something. Let's see, is that going to fit here? And I'm going to do this one in Flirty Flamingo. Actually, I might do that in black. Let's see. Let me get out. Here's some Memento. I do want to just try this with something because I haven't used it yet. Whenever you use your stamps for the first time, you definitely want to test them with something. Because sometimes printing isn't exactly correct or something's not lined up. You want to make sure that it works. Actually, what if we do this? I don't know if this is going to be a little bit much, but I'm going to try it anyway. And I haven't done this in a while. So what I'm going to do, you could do this with the Stamparatus, but I'm going to just wing it for now so I don't have to make you guys suffer through me getting something else out. I am going to stamp this in black. And then the rest of them I'm going to stamp light. So I'm going to start off with light. I'm going to try to go in the same spot. If you have your Stamparatus, you can just move it up about probably 1/4 of an inch every time. So I'm just going to go here, 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 here. So it's kind of light. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Here, 2, 3, 4. And then the last one, I'm going to do in black. Hopefully this kind of lines up slightly correctly. Could have been better if it was straight, but we're going to go with it now. So if you use your Stamparatus, it will absolutely be straight. So really good tip there. Use your Stamparatus. It'll make sure everything is lined up. All you have to do is slide it up and down the grid. So I have my real red. Again, one other thing you can always do if you're doing this, you're watching this video after it's live or after the recording is, just punch a bunch of hearts out. You could take this paper and punch some hearts out of the background. You could always use them. Punch some circles, anything like that. It will kind of make you get a little bit more use out of your layers of paper. Because it's kind of funny, as much as sometimes I'll sit and watch other demonstrators and I'm like, gosh, they just put that whole piece down there and all they're doing is covering it up. And look at me, I'm doing the exact same thing. So we'll put one here and one here. And then I do have to still do their little smirks. So we'll just kind of give this guy a little smile. And this one here, we'll have a little bit more. And then same thing again. I'm not going to put these on dimensionals this time. These guys I am going to glue down. But I'm going to make sure, especially with the foil, that I really get to the edges. So the whole thing sticks and your card doesn't fall apart. Another fun thing we have with this too, I'm going to get them out. I have these really adorable little sequins. And we can kind of decorate the card a little bit with those. Okay, let me grab those real quick while that's setting. These are adorable. They are Faceted Gems. So what you could do is you could kind of put a couple little dots of glue. Like that. And then you can either pick these up with a little tweezer if you happen to have one. These would be probably super great also for a shaker card. Let's see. Since I haven't gotten these out because I couldn't use them. I will tell you one thing. They are a little bit bigger, so they definitely are going to give a little bulk to the front of your card. So if this is something that you're worried about mailing, this is probably a card that you might want to hand give to somebody. Whoops, that one went upside down. You could also, if you didn't have your, oh goodness gracious, hold on. If you didn't have your Take Your Pick tool buried like mine is, you could put it on with your Take Your Pick tool. Oh, Rachel. Sometimes you make things so much more complicated than they need to be. I'm going to drop that one. Whoop. I don't know what's more painful. Watching me come up with ideas or watching me try to stick things where they don't want to be stuck. Let me grab this instead. Make it a little bit easier on myself. With the pick tool, what it does is it has putty inside, so you kind of turn it. So if it loses its sticky, all you have to do is turn it to get a fresh piece of sticky. Yeah, these are definitely a little bigger than I thought they were. So I probably should have looked at these ahead of time so I would know the size that they were before I went popping them on this card. I kind of thought they were, I guess, more the size of sequins. So little tidbit here. These are bigger than they look. Oh, gravy. These are definitely way bigger than they look. All right, that one's already arguing with me. So my gist is I'm going to add some more to these when I take the picture, because right now if I do this, I'm going to say something that probably is going to get me yelled at on Facebook. So we're going to skip that for a moment. And now we're going to move on to card number 3. I hope you guys are laughing out there, because the amount that I'm laughing at myself right now is just absolutely absurd. So for the last one, I'm going to do this little kind of flourish of magic sparkle dust that's going to make my card look super fabulous. Let me move this over for a second, get out my Flirty Flamingo. Gracious, I even turned the thing. Thank you for sharing that with your stamping friends. And I saw somebody laughing. So whoever it is, thank you for laughing with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to add these little guys. It's kind of funny because if there's anyone on here, I'm sure Gail can appreciate the times when you really would like to say something probably resembling a curse word, but remember that you already worked hard enough to stay on this channel, and if you curse, you're going to get yelled at. So there's just a little background something or other for that. I'm going to add just a couple of little hearts. Did I get rid of my hearts? Did I put them back? No, they're around. Oh, here they are. They're around here somewhere. I'm just going to put a couple random hearts in red. Just kind of all over. Because this one is going to go where the gnomes are going onto the front of it. And we still have to kind of figure out our sentiment because we didn't get to that spot yet. Oh, Lord. These are the days I'll remember when I'm old. Myself making a fool of myself on Facebook. I can tell Christian, you know, when I was in school, you wouldn't believe the things I used to do on that Facebook page. He'll probably be like, yeah, Mom, you told me already. Moving on. All right, just want to make sure that my hearts are facing the correct direction, because the only thing I probably could do is glue them one upside down. That would be fun. All right, so here's my last little 2 dudes. I am going to go ahead and give them a huge smirk, because if they've been sitting here watching me, they have to be laughing, right? All right, so there's those two guys. Same thing, I'm going to put these dudes on with some glue. Make sure I get it all over the back. We still have to add one more sentiment from here. And maybe if you have a family and you're sending a card to an aunt or a grandparent and you really are like, what do I say? There's a really cute saying in the meerkats, and you could say, from all of us. So let's do that, even though there's only two here on the front, but it's fine. Two's a party. Three's the beginning of a really big party. All right, so from all of us, I'm going to do this in black. That way it kind of stands out. Cute. And somehow, look, I didn't even fold this one. I thought I was being bold and brazen there. There we go. And then you could add something really adorably cute to the inside, because the Valentine stuff does have a lot of stuff. Even a lot of stuff for just friends. Being friends is better than eating candy, but let's do that too. So there's a lot of friend options. It doesn't have to be like lovey-dovey necessarily for the Valentine selection this year, which I think is great. So while I wrap this up, I was going to say I'm going to attempt to put two more of those gems on, but I seem to have lost one somewhere in the mix here anyway, so I don't even know where that one got away to, but I'm going to try to put one more on here. Let's see if I can get this one to stick. Oh, now they're sticking, probably because there's a little bit less glue on there. Look at that. Probably because it knows I got mad. Okay, perfect. At least I finished those out and there's something done. So these are the From My Heart Faceted Gems. So they have a lot of body to them, if you can see in my hand. I kind of feel like I'm doing the advertisement for Goonies. Remember when the lady, when they found all the jewels, she had all these huge jewels. These are pretty big. These would be great in a shaker. A little big for a card front, so I probably should have researched that ahead of time, but I guess better late than never, right? See, so I bought it and made the mistake, or used them so you didn't have to use them that way. So I hope you guys have found this video entertaining, because I strive for, if nothing more, at making some people laugh and have a better day than what they started with. I can't find my little cover for this. I think these gnomes are super cute. So if you were lucky enough to get your hands on the tree punch, we have the tree punch. We have the tree as the gnome hat, and then the tree is the beard here. The tree as the hat for the rest of them, and then this one is the snowman upside down. Just trimmed him off a little bit. I think that turned out really cute. And then for the other ones, we have just portions of the scalloped heart. You could obviously use the regular heart punch too, but I think the scallop makes it a little bit more fun. And I'm going to see if I can kind of show you. I don't know if it's going to pick up or not because of the lighting, but there's a little bit of blue here, a little bit of gray. Like I said, when I take the pictures for this, aside from my big smudge of glue there, I'm going to try to see if I can pick up on those shaded beards, because it's really very light, but I think it's super cute. I think these are adorable. And then you could add any, nice little sentiment to the inside. So you could put in a Whisper White panel and add some of the other fun stuff too. Again, you don't even have to do these in pink. I just did this because we have the Valentine's paper, but you could certainly do gnomes that were a little bit more neutral by using, you could use, there's so many things. Like you could even use the golf stuff and have plaid, which I think would be adorable if you're sending to your son or your nephew or a guy cousin or your husband. I think those would be great. These are fun for kids, but there's pretty much anything I think would be super fun for kids to see. So make sure you take a look. There's lots of great stuff in the catalog that is available now, so you're finally able to order from it. I would love to have you on my team if you are daring enough to join with Donna and the others on the Rainbow Stampers. We do have some good times. It's a lot of fun. Again, there is no pressure whatsoever to sell anything, so you definitely don't have to sell. So if you don't want to, it's not your deal. Perfectly fine. You can just come join for the discount and hopefully leave a little bit happier. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you again for sure next Wednesday here at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's 9:30 a.m. If not, I probably will be somewhere on Facebook and or YouTube throughout the rest of the week as well. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the time we had together today, and thank you so very much for stopping by. Take care.